Welcome to Cruise News Central with Joseph.
One of the common cruise tips you hear is, don't be surprised if the cruise line has to cancel port stops on your cruise. It's common. I've heard this so many times. It's been so ingrained in me that when I miss port stops on cruises, I just chalk it up to bad luck and move on. Well, a man named Stan Hoey just proved that in some cases, you do have some options to get compensated for missing those stops. In his case, he was able to prove the cruise line was up to some fishy business when it came to the missed ports on his cruise from Sydney to New Zealand. He just made Cunard Cruise Line, which is owned by Carnival Corporation, look really bad. Stan Hoey set out to explore the stunning New Zealand fjords. But after traveling halfway across the world, he was blindsided by news that his cruise itinerary had been drastically altered. What makes his story remarkable is what happened next. Stan fought back and won. Stan took Imagine Cruising, a cruise booking agency in the UK, to court and secured a $13,581 settlement. The key piece of evidence? An email showing that Cunard knew about the need to cancel the New Zealand stops a week before the cruise even set sail. Yet, passengers like Stan were kept in the dark until it was far too late. Stan first learned of the port cancellations through a vague announcement made while the ship was already at sea. Imagine the disappointment as passengers were casually informed that the much-anticipated New Zealand stops were off the itinerary. But the real shock came later when they received an email confirming the cancellation weeks after the cruise was already over. In an interview, Stan said, "It was frustrating. We were given no clear explanation when the announcement was made on board, and it wasn't until much later that we received an email from Imagine Cruising." Hoey was not satisfied with the lack of transparency. Determined to find out what really happened, he reached out to a friend at New Zealand's Ministry for Primary Industries, the MPI. It was through this connection that he uncovered crucial information. An email dated December 31st showing that Cunard had requested itinerary changes weeks before the cruise. This email also revealed that Cunard had been aware of hull cleaning issues that prevented even more port stops in New Zealand as early as November 2nd. It would seem they had plenty of time to address the hull issues, but didn't. Armed with this bombshell evidence and 200 pages of supporting documents, Hoey finally had his day in court this August. The judge ruled that Cunard's prior knowledge of the itinerary changes was effectively Imagine's responsibility as well. This led Stan to winning 20% of his cruise cost, additional stress compensation, and legal fees. But Stan didn't stop there. Now he's helping other passengers who are on the same cruise and even more who were affected by last-minute changes to a different itinerary earlier this year. He's determined to make sure no one else goes through what he did. Cunard has remained silent, stating only that the judgment was not directed at them. Stan Hoey's story is a reminder that sometimes standing up for what's right can make all the difference, not just for yourself, but for others too. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Cruise News on August 26th in the year of our Lord 2024. Always remember, no matter what destination you choose or what cruise line you choose, adventure awaits.